Is it truly possible in this day and age to make vanilla tile placement interesting and sexy again? Let's find out as we bring you Cascadia in 5 minutes or less. We have here then your theatre, the Pacific Northwest, your protagonists, the habitats and wildlife of this fair region, and it's up to you to satisfy their wants and needs and cradle this most delicate of ecosystems. Very quickly then, subscribe, do the likey, gracias. At its core, this is a game of tile placement. Each of your turns will see you placing both hexagonal tiles representing the habitat that expand out from your starting area, and wildlife tokens that can only be placed where shown on the tiles. If there's nowhere to place or you just don't want to, then back in the bag the wildlife goes. So that's the rudiments, but it's the drafting that sees you grab a habitat, but also take the wildlife that's paired with it in the marketplace. Yes, there are means for you to cherry pick which of each you want and refresh the choices, but those opportunities are few and far between. Which brings us to the pattern building, because each game will use scoring objectives that highlight the 5 types of fauna, and they each dictate how you must place your tokens in concert with each other, be it adjacent to multiple types of wildlife or in a contiguous line of the same, to name just a couple. It's then a case of satisfying said objectives over 20 turns that dictates the winner. So why might you like it? Well, if you want a little bit more decision making in your lightweight tile laying games, then the tethering of habitat and wildlife tokens is just the right level of, well, how much do I really want that tile if I have to take it with that? Yes, you've got your nature tokens to bend those drafting rules, but it's this main hook that makes Cascadia that little bit different. You'll also need to appreciate its more open-ended approach to how a game pans out. Taking the rough with the smooth is a recurring theme that's there again in the pattern building, because very little in your habitats will be neat and tidy. But it's that same tenet that provides so much in the way of possibilities, and the variations on a theme's scoring objectives only add to replayability. Which brings us to accessibility. It's such an easy teach, it's pleasant to look at, it makes sensible decisions to mitigate bad marketplace draws, and drip feeds you the ability to pick and choose what you want. Sometimes an easy breezy feel is just what's needed, and here you have it in spades. But why might you not like it? Well, don't be expecting a puzzle-like feel. There's no secret sauce to mastering it. Too much is in the lap of the gods, and trying to cater for all of the available scoring conditions is a fool's errand. To that end, it also doesn't do much thematically or mechanically with the habitats, with a seemingly random accompaniment of wildlife associated with each tile. One notable design decision was the complete omission of rules changes for player count. The market places 4 tiles and tokens no matter what, which will result in increased churn with more players. This is also the reason you'll so often see your preferred draft choice incidentally taken away from you, which is less about strategically hindering your opponents and more about blind luck. Now, if you're looking for games that share similarities as a point of reference, consider Calico and King Domino. And so to close, Cascadia brings a light touch, a great deal of accessibility, and a nice balance of decision making. Alas, I have been the voice of Benji, and this video has ended. Bears, salmons, hawks, elks, fox, hawks, elks, fox. Bears, salmon, hawks, elks, fox, hawks, elks, fox. Don't do drugs, kids.